So this comes to us from Nintendo Soup. It says, Nintendo has sent out surveys asking for feedback on Switch 2 game key cards. It's hard to say, Switch 2 game key cards. It seems that Nintendo has sent out surveys to some customers to seek feedback on the Switch 2 game key cards. Currently, the surveys have been sent out only in Japan, so it's possible that they'll be sent out in other regions in the future. This goes to show that the company is aware of the negative sentiment surrounding game key cards online and will take into consideration feedback from the survey in the future. Game key cards are a new type of physical media introduced with Nintendo Switch 2, which you guys already know how I feel about game key cards. I do not want to ever purchase a game key card, ever. I will purchase a game key card if it's a game that is exclusive to the Switch 2 and a game that I just have to play. I'm just being honest. Like if there's a Pikmin 5 or Mario Odyssey 2 or Tears of the Kingdom 2 or Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever the third game in the series is going to be, and it's a game key card, I would begrudgingly purchase it. I would not be happy about that, but I would do it. Outside of that, I have no interest at all, especially if the games are available on other consoles or on Steam. Just buy it from my Steam library and play it on the Steam Deck or on my PC. So Nintendo is really shooting themselves in the foot by thinking this was a way for third-party publishers to save money and put their games on the Switch too, when people are like, yeah, no, I want the game on the cart. That's the whole purpose of purchasing the physical media. Otherwise, you're just getting a picture. It's not the game itself. They've been controversial because the game key card only contains a key, a software license, and does not contain game data, unlike game cards. This means the game data must be downloaded onto the internal memory or micro SD express card before the user can play it. I will tell you that this being shared in Japan currently, it's a step in the right direction, but it doesn't resolve anything. If Doug Bowser is not a retard, which is TBD at this point with what I've learned about this guy, he would know the general sentiment around game key cards in America and would be able to voice that back to Japan and say that it's not welcome, people don't want it. But here's the thing about Doug Bowser. He's a former EA executive. He made his claim to fame by shortchanging people, by getting rich off of giving less. Do you think he really gives a shit about people getting game key cards instead of a full game on a cart? Do you think he cares about that? Obviously not. So while this is a good first step in getting rid of game key cards, if Nintendo was to make an announcement, like officially game key cards are no longer, game codes in a box are no longer a thing. We are going to go back to just full on, the entire games are going to be mandated for all third-party publishers for any games on our system. No longer can do game key cards. That was a failed experiment. We tried it. It was like the Virtual Boy. We gave it a shot. It didn't work out. The game key cards didn't work out. You know, we tried our best. We tried to do a new thing. We're going to actually give you the game now. Sorry about that. Unless Nintendo does that, this situation is going to continue down this path. No one's going to change. They have no reason to change, though. They're making money hand over fist. Their stock is at all-time highs right now. You guys who have been here would know I've shown that off. I'm not going to show it again. Their stock continues to hit all-time highs. They're giving you less, taking more, charging more, and just expecting you to purchase it. And I don't plan on continuing to do that. I will say, if Nintendo is to continue doing value games like Nintendo Tour or Switch 2 Tour or whatever it's called for $10, I definitely got my $10 out of Nintendo Switch Tour. That game is, for the money, $1,000,000% worth it for $10. $20 would really be pushing it. $30, no. But as far as the replayability and just the fun stuff you can do with it, $10, it's like, yeah, of course. It's not a problem. Sergeant Sapien says, Smash, they even canceled their voucher program. They did? Switch 2 game vouchers, direct download only for paid Nintendo Switch Online members. I'm not signed in. Nintendo Switch Online members can buy a pair of Switch game vouchers to redeem each one for a digital game. Vouchers can be purchased through January 30th, 2026. Yeah, no, it's still there. Oh, vouchers cannot be redeemed for games exclusive to the Switch 2. Yikes. I see what you mean. That's awful. That's absolutely awful. Like, it would be nice for them to give, like, for the people that really want to support Nintendo and find the best value for their digital purchase, to be able to go this roundabout way and buy these vouchers, guarantee that Nintendo, they're getting 2 purchases out of it. It was a win-win for the consumer and the company. Nintendo is getting so greedy. It's not even funny. Like, it's getting to levels of being disgusting. These are pigs swimming in slop right now. They're so excited about more money. The stock is at an all-time high. They're making more money than God. They're printing money like crazy. It's all, I've said this too. So reference this. 1 year from today, look back at this moment and remember that I said the Switch 2 is going to collapse. It is, because this is not sustainable. They can't keep being greedy with this stuff. It's not going to work. People are going to find alternative means to purchase games. They're going to either pirate or they're going to go to other consoles. They're not going to pay these ridiculous, exorbitant amounts of money for these games. If the Switch 2, like I was saying, goes to $10 games for Switch Tour and they do other games like that, then yeah, there might be, okay, I understand the flexibility here and these games are fun and they're totally worth it and I'm happy as a clam with this. Okay, that's great. But if I see stuff like this happening, getting rid of the game vouchers, that tells me that they're not looking to save people money. They're looking to screw you over in the future. That's a massive yikes. I was more willing to drop $60 on like a Kirby game or a Splatoon game or a game that I'm not like super high on, because I'm like, it's $60. My kids will play it. I'll play it maybe, and we'll get some of the money. We're not going to get $60 out of it, but we'll get our money's worth halfway through or something like that. We could do that with $60, and maybe we'd find a diamond in the rough and we'd have a blast with it. Be great. But if we're spending $80 on these games, I'm not going to just flippantly be like, yeah, sure, I'm going to buy the next Kirby game for $80. Like, no, I'm not. I don't care if it's like the best Kirby game in 30 years. Like, sorry, I'm not spending $80 on that game. I'm just not. But there are games I would do that with. But they're towing a very dangerous line right now. That's all I'm saying. They are, exactly. They're drunk on the Kool-Aid and they think that they are they're infallible. This is going to blow up in their face. And a part of me kind of hopes it does, to be honest. And this is coming from a massive Nintendo fan. Huge fan here. I bought a Switch 2 on launch day. I really wanted to find out what it was all about and share with you guys my experience with it. And so far, so good with the Switch 2. I enjoy it. I think it's a great system. It really is. It's awesome. Is it necessary? No, it's not. That's the problem. It's not necessary. That's why it's going to completely destroy Nintendo. This is not a necessary system. It's a very nice upgrade to what they had. It's basically a Switch Pro that should have been ready 4 years ago and allegedly was ready 4 years ago. And now that we have I'm going to just start calling the Switch 2 the Switch Pro, because that's what it is. It's a Switch Pro. And now that we have a Switch Pro, you don't need it. It's like, just play your Switch or play PC games. Maybe that'll change if there's an exclusive game that comes out. I don't foresee that being Donkey Kong Bonanza. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe it is that. But if there is a must-have exclusive to the Switch 2, then that might change things. But as it stands right now, it kind of reminds me of like the new 3DS compared to the 3DS, where there were some exclusive games on the new 3DS. And then Nintendo was like, yeah, we didn't sell enough of the new 3DSs to keep making new 3DS games exclusive. So they went back to just making 3DS games that would work on the new 3DS. It's like, yep, I could totally see that happening with the Switch 2, where they're going to be like, oh, yeah, it's Switch 2 exclusive. And then they're going to realize, oh, those games aren't selling as much because the Switch 2 stopped selling. So they're going to need to start making games that are Switch compatible Switch 2 games to actually sell them. And then they're going to run into a problem with the pricing. And then they're going to try to upsell people. And people are going to be like, why would I do that? I played Tears of the Kingdom on my Switch 2 briefly just to see what it looked like. It looked great. It looked fine. And it was like, do you want to upgrade for, what was it, like $10 or $20 for the super special unlocked frame per second or whatever it is, or more speed? I'm like, no, it's fine. Should be fucking free, you cheapskates. Why are you charging me for this? You didn't do anything. You literally just did what was already available via, was it Zuza or whatever? Kazuza? It was already available, pirated. People could unlock the frame rate on it. Why do people need to pay you money for something your developers didn't do anything to? You just changed one thing on the clocking speed, and it's like, oh, now pay us $20 for that. No, what the hell? Simu, thank you, Simu. They don't listen to their customers. It's so obvious. They know right now that they are winning, but the problem is the more they win, the less they listen. And eventually they're going to walk that plank and there's going to be no one there for them. Some could argue they've been doing that for years now, and it's going to catch up to them really quick. Karate Werewolf for the 2 says, keycards are the reason I'm not buying a Switch 2. That's a reason why if I didn't get a Switch 2 on launch day, I would not be in a rush to get one right now. I'd be like, a part of the reason why I did get it, and you guys that were here would have seen it, I fell into it where I was streaming and you guys in the chat were like, oh, it's launch. It's the pre-orders are open right now. You can try to get in the queue. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that for fun, whatever. Like I wasn't even paying attention to on Best Buy. And while I'm talking and doing everything else, I had one box open over here, and it's like, you are now accepted into the queue to purchase a Switch 2. And I was like, I guess I'm getting one. Like that was my motivation. It was like, I didn't really care. If I got it, I got it. And I got it. And I was like, great. But if I didn't get it, I wouldn't be like refreshing screens. I wouldn't be trying to find out when it's available. I wouldn't be going into stores in the morning early on like I did with the PlayStation 2 at like 6 a.m. at Walmart trying to get it. I wouldn't care. I just wouldn't. But yeah, especially because of the key cards.